I went over and over again to yourselves, and I think it fairly sums up, and we actually going to post the explanation, the answers, so you can find that there. So I think it will not be that difficult, but there are few other things I have to There was a question about log. Do you know how to do log? What? Log. Yes, you can take log in the Excel sheet, and it will give you the log of anything. And there are two kinds of log. One is 10 based log, another is natural log, that is E based log. That is one thing. You take log of something, that will gives you a decreased number. So whenever there is a big figure, we tend to decrease it by log, taking the logarithm of it. And when we have found a logged value, what we do to find the normal value? What is the reverse process? Anti-log. Yes, anti-log. That is exponential. Exponential is reverse process of. So exp is the command in Excel. Exponential, short form, that is anti-log. Yes. So there was a mention of log. I am mentioning it because I think it is important to learn. This log thing is taking log, log, that is a command in Excel, and then exp in the that is the command in Excel. You can do that, and remind that log is used to make a big figure into smaller figure. And there are other factors that if we take log, we can find this elasticity directly. That is another utility of taking log. So that is a higher thing. We are not going to that thing, but it's definitely good to learn, good to have some more knowledge. Now, sorry? Yes, one log that was mentioned in the class, that log, how to take the log, and you can have a demand equation or supply equation that may have log. So you have to calculate that, and that's why I mentioned that, to refresh your memories. And complement substitute, I covered this one. Market equilibrium, the main thing, and you know about discounting, how you do the discounting. I didn't see anyone failing to answer this one. Discounting, how to do the discounting? Discounting. You can do that. Okay. Discounting is fairly simple. So for market equilibrium and change in the demand, and here is the last question in homework 2. There was a equation that demand equals to 2p plus for 25,250. So 900 minus twice p. I am going to the second part. You can plot. I think you can plot P and Q. If you have the Excel sheet and you just take different prices and get the quantity of at different prices. But if we draw this graph roughly, then for 0 price, what will be the demand? 900. If the price is 0, if we plug 0 in it, then we find that demand is 900, right? And here for 0 demand price should be 450. At $450 price there will be no demand. So we can find the 2 points and draw the curve, and we found that there is a mention that 500 is the need for the community, is a need, not demand. What is the difference between need and demand? Tell what? Demand is defined by the market, that is at the market price, and market is defined by the supply also. Market is not defined only by my requirement. So for effective demand there should be my money in my pocket. I have, demand is not that thing that I require that, but I have to have the willingness to spend money for that. First one is want, or my requirement, that I want that, and then I have to have money in my pocket, and I have the willingness to spend the money on that product. So effective demand comes from these three. You have to satisfy 3 criteria, otherwise that is not demand. But there should be medical care for me. I am ill, I am very much sick, but I don't have money, or I have money but I don't want to see any physician, I don't believe in a physician. So I have the need, to see a doctor, but I don't have the demand. Maybe I don't have the money, maybe even I don't know that I have to go to the doctor. I don't know. I don't even have the knowledge of that I have a disease and I have to go to doctor. Please.
So the 3 things that, what are the 3 things that we need?
One is want, that is I have to know that I require this thing. Second thing, money, or certainly I have to have money in my pocket. Wealth, that is another way of telling that. And willingness to spend. So 3 W's. I have to have want, then I have to have money in my pocket, wealth, and final, last but not least, I have to have the willingness to spend that money. If I don't have willingness, if I have the requirement, I know that I have to consume that good, I have the money but I don't want to, I don't feel that I should buy that. So demand, to be a effective demand, 3 essential criteria. But here need is, it is required. I even don't know, but anyone else know that it is required, it is need. I don't know, I don't understand. In the poor people that is the case. When in USA for uninsured people that is the case. I know, but I don't have the means to go to take utilize the care or have the care. So need is there, and in case of need, we know that for fulfilling this need, if we can plug this 500 here, what would be the price of each consultation? That is 200, right? So for fulfilling 500, for utilization of this 500 outpatient visit, the money should be market, the price should be $200. And we find that there is a mention that outpatient service price, the market equilibrium price, that is not told here, but there is a market price, it is told. The market price is $300. At $300, what is our demand? 900 minus 600, that is 300. So at the present market price, we are consuming only 300. So this 200 for utilization of more 200 more visits, we have to reduce this by $100, right? That's the case. And when there is a need thing, that is, we have to have 500, not more than that. There is a vertical inelastic curve, because beyond that we don't require anything. If it is provided, we will not consume it. Now for this question, we can subsidize this $100 to directly to the consumer, not to the physician or hospital. That will change the dynamics of the market. That will not directly change the 300 to 200. If we can give $100 to consumer and consumer put their rest of $200 from their own pocket and give that to physician, that will work. But it seems for a policy purpose, it is not very appealing, difficult. Yes, I cannot give $100 to any person and ensure that he will utilize this for this. He will buy necessary things. One who has this only $200, he has to buy many other things beyond this healthcare services. He will start buying those things. So this is not appealing, but it is called the market equilibrium price. So we are dealing with only the demand curve. There is a supply curve also, and that is my point. In every market, there is a supply curve and there is a demand curve. So market equilibrium price, there is a supply curve. Supply curve, we all know that this is upward sloping curve, and this is the supply curve. We can change the position of the supply curve. If we can change the position of the supply curve from here to here, then the new market equilibrium would be there, and this 500 utilization, 500 required number of outpatient services utilized. So what are the policies we can adopt? We can increase the supply, not the demand side intervention. There are two kinds of intervention. One is demand side, one is supply side. Tell me, what are the demand side things in healthcare setting? What is the demand side thing? Sliding scale. Sliding scale for based on income for that is, you are telling about introducing what do you think? It is
based on
demand side intervention or supply side intervention? Yes, based on income. I can understand that you are telling about the progressive type of payment, that one who has less income, he will pay less, and one who don't think. Let me tell you, it is the basic class. Don't think in difficult ways. Don't think it's a difficult thing. You have to, then this normal graph will not be the normal again. That is you put that? Okay. You think in a normal way that what can you do to change the scenario in a very much. Dr. Khan, I keep mentioning this one because without any further complicating things, you can find the solution from here. Whenever you put that, yes, we are going to put this equitable, just kind of thing, that one who has more money will pay more money, that will not make this market. So there will be more market, more kind of market. Well, there will be one market for these rich people, one market for these poor people, one market for these middle income people. So there will be more market in case of one market. We are telling about one market. We are not going to dividing this in many markets, because this figure is normal. This is the two-dimensional figure. There is only one price and one quantity, and we are going to analyze one at a time. If we have another price at another equilibrium price for this high income people, then we are going to have to draw another graph. Then we can merge these graphs and merge these equations, and that is another case. So I think I have covered the important points. And from this one, from market, there was a question that asked about excess demand, excess supply. We can go from this figure to that one. That was in the quiz 1 or 2. Yes. Here. Yeah, this one, market supply and demand for number 7. Quiz 2, number 7. We have provided the explanation there. You can find the explanation. And quiz 2, number 7. Quiz 2, number 7, there is the demand function, that 5000 minus 20F. Supply function was 2000 plus 30F. So here it is that there is no out of pocket payment. You don't have to pay your out of pocket. So what will be the demand? If you don't have to pay anything, your price would be 0, right? So you put 0 here. If we put 0 here, the demand is only 5,000, and government is paying $100 to the suppliers. Suppliers are not getting 0. They are getting $100 from government. So supplier has this $100, and suppliers at $100, they will produce this amount, right? They are producing this amount. So there is equal. There is no excess demand, no excess of, that is the equilibrium. That is in equilibrium, equal. The demand equals to supply. So if price is 0 and $100 is given by government, that would be the case. There will be no excess demand or supply. For kidney market, we can see that if there is a regulation that there should be no sale of this, no one can sell this one. So if no one can sell this one, their price would be 0. At 0 price, look, at 0 price it is only 2000. Say this one is for the kidney market equation. For kidney market, organ donation market, there is the equation for supplier. So this 2000 means they are willing to supply without any price. At 0 price, there should be at least 2000 kidney donors. They will donate their kidney. When there is a price, there should be some more. If there is a price is $100, then 3000 more kidney will be supplied. But if there is 0, this 2000 will be there. They are supplying their kidneys due to various reasons. They are not due to money. Without money, they will supply. And look here, if the price is 0 in the kidney market, there will be 5,000 demand. And when there is a price is imposed, then the demand is decreasing because it's downward sloping. It will decrease. So from policy perspective, if there is no authorized buy and sell, there should be no price on this demand and supply. So if there is no price, it would be 0. This will also be 0. But there is bar on only selling of. You can take money, but you cannot sell. You have to give money for taking kidney from an intermediary. Dr. Khan told that intermediary organization who will manage this kind of transaction. You will give money them for this management, but one who sells, he or she will not get any money. So their money will be 0, supplier will get 0, but there should be some price. So this kind of policy scenarios can be given in your question, and you can, I think you will be able to answer those questions, right? Anything else? Anything else you think that is required? This you can see that this quiz 1 question 4. Quiz 1 question 4. There is a substitute and complement thing. Look at the demand equation, that is 0.01 minus 0.25 P plus 0.12 P star plus 0.17 A. So here Q is the quantity of aspirin and P is the price of aspirin and P star is the price of coffee. What is the relation between this aspirin and coffee? Look, when there is a price increase in aspirin, we can see that from this negative mark that there will be decreased demand for aspirin, right? There is increase in price of aspirin, decrease in aspirin. That is fairly intuitive. Demand curve is downward sloping. But what about the coffee? When there is increasing price, what will be the demand for coffee? When there is increasing price of coffee, what is the effect on aspirin? Increasing price of coffee, what will be the effect on quantity of aspirin demanded? Increase, yes, that's positive. The mark is positive. So what is the relation between these two? Coffee's price increased, aspirin's demand increased. Just think about this coffee and tea thing. Substitute. Yes, they are going to be substitute. That when there is increase in coffee, decrease in demand in coffee, but increase in demand in aspirin. So we can assume that they are put in the same equation. Coffee, aspirin is substitute of coffee, and vice versa. That whenever there is increase in price of aspirin, we are going to get some more coffee. So we can see from this figure, looking at the sign, whether it is plus or minus, we can say that whether it is substitute or complement, right?
Oh wait, can you say that again? So if it's negative, okay, say that one more time.
If there is increase in price of coffee, what will be the effect on quantity demanded of aspirin? Increase, because the price has a positive mark.
Asking about the symbols, does tell you.
Yes.
Okay, so if it's plus, that means it's increased.
Right. When you put here 1, that is increased by 0.12.
Okay.
Then
But if
when
it was a negative, then it would decrease, right?
right, if you put 1, the whole figure will decrease by 0.25 because of this minus negative sign, right? So it is negative effect, reciprocal effect, because we know that price, your own price has negative effect on your demand. It is increase, if it is decrease, inverse relationship. Your own price decreased, your demand increased. Same way, if the price of aspirin increased, demand of aspirin will be decreased. But here we can see that if coffee's price increased, aspirin's demand increased. So coffee's own demand decreased, and at the same time aspirin's demand increased. We have to think that coffee is less demanded, but aspirin is more demanded. So we are substituting coffee with aspirin, right? But if it is negative, then there is a complement. We can tell that we take coffee and aspirin together. So when there is less demand for aspirin, there is less demand for coffee also.